Light snow, not much moisture to work with yet. Again, it's not until it gets off the coast that it deepens and swings some of that moisture back. So right now, light snows across the area. Harrisburg, by the way, Dr. Forbes said Harrisburg's reporting sleet right now. So a little sleet in some of the areas out there. But we'll watch the low move east. This is our RPM model. And this is one of the models that's really not indicating much around the Boston area and northward. So in this area here, we're going to really not, oh, this thing is not working right. We're not seeing as much here as we thought we were going to get earlier. So just a heads up, north of Boston,
because of the
Salem.
speed of the deepening? Is that because it's going to deepen as it gets a little further away from Boston?
Yeah, maybe that's the case, Sam. It's maybe a little bit farther east. The moisture doesn't get in there as much as we thought it would, or as it's not, wrapping around as much as we thought. So at least, the Europeans still holding on to heavier snows, but the other models, really not much in this area here. So if you're in Boston, especially living north of town, just know you may not see that 5 to 8 inches we were thinking earlier. We're going to actually bring our totals down in that area, but still down East Main, this area here, still feel very confident that we're going to see some of the heavier snows in this region as it moves by.
And you mentioned the Euro, and the Euro overperformed during Juneau. Is that correct? That's
correct. So a similar scenario. The RPM actually did very well. The GFS was more in line, getting close to the RPM. So that's kind of what we're seeing again with this system. So again, we're probably going to take out some of this right in here. We're going to lower those amounts.
Will that away so they can breathe a little easier here.
They're still going to have the wind. They're still going to have the wind and a little bit of snow, but maybe not on the order of 8 to 12 inches in this area here. So maybe not as bad, but we're still going to get some.
And look at this guy.
Yeah, and Sam, so we get rid of this one, and we're probably going to end up naming this disturbance eventually into a winter storm. Right now, it's though off the Pacific coast.
It's a shame it's not aimed more there.
That's true. Good point,
we need
Sam.
it into the California coastline.
We could, but unfortunately the ridge is so strong in this area, it's going to come up over the ridge. And what we have down here is this upper level low in the southwest. We're showing you that because it's actually going to help develop this system because some of the energy is going to come out from it. And we're going to see this thing get pretty strong. We track the vorticity or the spin in the atmosphere. It's off the coast. So you know what happens when we got that off the coast. We got a surface feature, and we're going to see that storm we were talking about off the northeast coast. Before that, though, look at the snow amounts we're going to see, especially in New Mexico, where we desperately need it.
Could be a huge snowmaker for the folks in New Mexico, and they do need it indeed.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kim.
You got it.
Back to Nick.
And as you said, New England in the crosshairs again. After your local on the 8s, we'll track the timing of Winter Storm Carrie just days after 3 feet of snow blasted it.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, low 55. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, high 77. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy skies, slight chance of a rain shower, low 58. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I feel like we handled this, and the state handled it very well, and we got through it. So it's maybe just practice for another one that might be coming.
You can see there is a lot of snow right now. Where are we going to put the more snow? I don't think we're going to have a room for that. Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to find a spot for more snow because a brand new winter storm is targeting spots that just got slammed 2 days ago. Winter Storm Carrie will bring the second of a 1-2 punch for eastern New England. We thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Nick Walker.
And I'm Samantha Moore, and let's get right to the expert analysis of where this storm is and why it was named with storm specialist Kim Cunningham, who is in the lab. Kim?
Well, good evening, everyone. It is right now moving through parts of the Northeast, but it's when it gets off the coast that's going to deepen and spread some pretty decent amounts of snow for Maine. So right now we have named it Winter Storm Carrie because it met our criteria of number of people under warnings. So 3.8 million people are under winter storm warnings. Our criteria has to at least be 2 million or higher, and it met this criteria. So that's why it is now named Winter Storm Carrie. And this is where we have the advisories in effect. Boston under a winter storm warning, Bangor, Portland, all these cities under warnings. Notice the lack of warnings. The good news in New York City. We're going to actually escape from this one. Sam?
Thank you so much, Kim. Well, Carrie will bring a fresh round of snow to several of the same areas that just got socked by Winter Storm Juno. Plymouth and Boston, you felt the brunt of Juno, and Maine is in for a real taste of wintry weather, too. And Nick is timing out the storm for us.
Yeah,
Nick.
I think Maine is going to be the big winner or loser, depending on how you look at this, as Winter Storm Carrie makes its way into New England. Already we're seeing snowfall all the way from, say, Cleveland on into Buffalo, Syracuse. Granted, the air is so very dry here that some of these areas in blue, indicating where the snow is on the radar, are not really getting a lot of snow falling to the ground yet. But we will see more as the atmosphere moistens up a little bit. Washington, D.C., you picked up actually a little bit of sleet earlier. Now this is moving eastward. Philadelphia, you'll see some snow showers. Not much in the way of accumulation, if any at all. New York may get an inch or so. More, though, for Boston. And, of course, the interior and northern areas of the Northeast are going to see it from this Clipper system named Carrie. We're going to see this area of low pressure deepen as it moves into Saturday. And so what we're going to find are some very gusty winds, particularly developing along the coast as this low pressure really bottoms out. So watch out. There could be more blowing snow, more limited visibility. And mind you, there's already plentiful snow on the ground, loose snow that could blow around even where snow isn't falling. But we will see more fall here Thursday and on into Friday. We're looking at areas in Maine that could see 12 to 18 inches of snowfall, Sam.
Incredible. And as Winter Storm Carrie moves towards the Northeast, promising more snow, cleanup continues from Winter Storm Juno. NBC's Miguel Almaguer is just south of Boston in Dorchester, Massachusetts this evening. And Miguel, how is this recovery process going anyway?
Sam, it's certainly taken a long time. The snow hasn't stopped falling here, but that doesn't mean it's gone away. We found this pile 25 feet high just outside of Boston, and it's all across the New England area. Tonight, more snow is on the way in this direction. It's going to hit big cities and small cities all throughout this region.
Tonight, from Maine to Massachusetts, the Big Dig. This the scramble before the next approaching storm.
It's part of winter.
It's plowing through the Midwest, causing spinouts and two planes to slide off the runway in Michigan. It's pushing east, where mounds of snow have swallowed cars.
This is what many neighborhoods look like. The tight streets and piles of snow may not change anytime soon.
Today in Boston, a fatal fire. On these narrow, slick, and often unplowed roads, firefighters struggle to find buried hydrants.
It could be the difference between life and death.
Along the coast in Marshfield, a frozen tundra, an inch thick for blocks.
The upstairs, I think, is okay, but the downstairs is clear through. Everything's gone.
The damage from a broken seawall, not just coating the outside of homes.
This is everybody's worst nightmare that lives here. All these people are not going to be able to live here for a long time.
With waves battering Nantucket, many on the island are still without power. Others can't even get out of their home.
Yeah, it looks like a disaster zone. I've never seen it that bad.
Tonight, they're digging out where they can. A race to stay ahead of what's already on the way.
While this next storm may not be as crippling, more snow is only going to compound the problem. Crews are working around the clock to do what they can here, but there's only so many places to put all of this snow. Sam, back to you.
Miguel, thank you so much, and our best to everyone there trying to clean everything up. Well, we've been talking a lot about the 1-2 punch of winter storms Juno and Carrie, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, there could be a lot more. A third cross-country storm is on the move. It will bring significant snow in the coming days, but there's still an element of mystery with this one.
Yeah, let's head back into the lab for expert analysis with Kim Cunningham. Kim, what do you think?
Well, I think we have a couple of days to watch this, and that's the good thing. We're seeing two of our models, the European, the GFS, pretty much in line with what's going to happen with this one. And this is going to happen for the Northeast, looks like maybe Sunday into Monday again. So another early week storm for you guys. So we're going to start looking at this the first day tomorrow. We'll start to see here in the Northeast, this is with the Clipper. And then we're going to show you this because I wanted to show you this. Sarah put this together, such an awesome map for us, where we have showing the moisture in the gray. We've got the 850 temperatures. That's probably basically where the rain snow line is going to set up. So this is all below 0 at 850, meaning that through the atmosphere we're cold. So we're going to see mainly snow. So with our first Clipper, we see all the cold air in place across the Northeast. That's key. But we start to see moisture returning. That's the gray up into the plains. And you could see where the moisture is over the top of the cold air, or in the cold air. So this is where we're going to see that changeover from rain to snow in St. Louis. Also into Cincinnati, we're going to see the snow coming in. The GFS printing out maybe several inches of snow here in Cincinnati, but then we get really cold behind this, again staying well below freezing in this area. So again, watching this, and I'm going to go ahead and put this back here and see if I can get this ready for you. Looking at the forecast now, we're going to watch the Northeast dealing with the snow with the Clipper. The Southwest, the disturbance that right now is bringing the potential of some heavy snow. That's going to actually help strengthen the one to the north a little bit. We'll see moisture coming in. We'll see rain starting out. This is Saturday. Right here's that rain snow line. Again, the colder air will get in there and all over to snow in St. Louis and Kansas City. Cincinnati, this may be some of the heavier snows we have seen in a while. Pittsburgh seeing snow with this. This is more of a mid-Atlantic storm. We will see some snow in the New York. Again, this is where the models may be varying a little bit, whether or not New York is going to be in on 1 to 3 or 3 to 5 inches of snow, and Boston too. So we're looking at the disturbance right now. It's in the northeastern Pacific. This is the one we're going to watch, and we'll have that forecast and look at the two computer models coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Back to you.
All right, great, Kim. Thanks so much. And much more ahead right here on Weather Center Live.
Including a plane on the road. After your local on the 8s, we'll show you why this plane made an emergency landing on New Jersey's State Route 23. You can even see some road salt there. Wow.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. Theraflu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. Theraflu. Serious power.
This is the equivalent of the sugar in one regular soda. And this is 1 soda a day over an average adult lifetime. But there's a better choice. Drink more Brita water. Clean, refreshing Brita.
Your Super Bowl party is on NBC. Starting with the Today Show. Then at noon, our team breaks down the big game. Katy Perry prepares for the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show, and the best team brings you Super Bowl 49. Then, don't miss a special Blacklist and Tonight Show after the game, only on NBC.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 55, winds light and variable. Friday, sunny skies, high 77, winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 58, winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam. Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom? No problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
I am never getting married.
We're never having kids.
We are never moving to the suburbs.
We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Hi, you've reached Emma. I'm out of the office right now, but we'll get back to you just as soon as I possibly can. Your call is important to me.
Join Princess Cruises for exclusive Discovery at Sea experiences. Enjoy cruises from $4.99 during our 50th anniversary sale. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises. Come back new.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Well, welcome back to Weather Center Live. Travel troubles continue to top our weather headlines at this hour. Now, this is not a runway. A small plane had to make an emergency landing on New Jersey State Route 23 in West Milford early this afternoon. You can see the snow that's piled up next to the highway and what looks to be like salt still covering the asphalt. They're trying to melt the snow. The pilot told NBC4 New York that he believes his carburetor iced up. No one on board or on the ground was injured, thank goodness. And south and east of that scene, you're looking at New York City from the top of the rock. Of course, it's nightfall now. Light snow is expected tonight throughout tomorrow morning with dangerously frigid temperatures and life-threatening wind chill factors to follow through tomorrow night and into Saturday. And 2 days later, parts of New England are still digging out from Juno. The storm was historic for Worcester, Mass., breaking a daily snowfall record of, get this, nearly 3 feet of snow, a whole yard's worth. Further along the coast, those areas that were hit hard by blowing snow, rough seas, and 14 hours of blizzard conditions.
No one expected it to be this bad. All of a sudden, wham, big storm.
It was a big storm indeed, Juno, one that New Englanders won't forget for a long time. And Nick is in the lab to put all this snow into perspective. Nick?
Well, don't you know, we had a lot of snow falling from this winter storm Juno. Many areas got more than 30 inches of snow. That really snarled travel. So here's some perspective on how much snow was cleared off of Interstate 90, commonly known as the Mass Pike in Massachusetts. The Mass Pike runs the entire width of the state from the western border all the way to Boston, all along the 138 miles of this freeway on all 4 to 8 lanes. Lots of snow accumulated. That's equal to about 680 miles of road. Now, these are the kind of amounts we saw. The western part of the state, 6 to 12 inches, 12 to 18 in the west central part of the state, and in the eastern part of Massachusetts, we got an astounding 18 to 30 inches of snow. So, if you do the math, multiplying the snowfall amounts by the number of miles and the number of lanes, you get about 30.4 cubic feet of snow. That's almost an incomprehensible number. How much snow is that? Boom! That's enough snow to fill 5.5 Fenway Parks. That's the kind of snow that had to be cleared before we could safely navigate the Mass Pike once again. So what do you do with all that snow? Well, some residents are still snowed in 2 days later. Cars buried under feet of snow. Jim Cantori shows us what the streets of Boston look like right now.
Hey guys, we're on Fulton Street here in the north end, the beautiful north end of Boston, and you can see there's no place to put this snow. Other areas of the city are going to be taking it, melting it, getting it out of here, or bringing it to yards. But in here, you got to shovel yourself out. I mean, if you haven't shoveled yourself out, your car is pretty trapped right in the snow. Let's get out here for a second and just take a look at this. This is kind of amazing. Actually, I'm going to point this right toward this vehicle because I just want you to see how caked in this thing is. Wow. So think about it. It snows 2 days ago. There's a couple feet of snow on the ground. It gets plowed and pushed and packed. It's heavier. There's salt here, so that's melting the snow. There's adding water weight to this. So, you have a vehicle like this, which I have actually no idea what it is, but it's just caked with snow and also some of the slush that's been pushed on the side of the road in salt. So some of this is just sitting on the hood, and all these cars are pretty much tip to tail here in terms of what we got. So a tough situation here in Boston. There's more rain and snow in the forecast. Monday certainly could be a much, much bigger event. But in here, all the residents are telling me is they just have to wait till it melts.
Thank you for being a sailor and my daddy. Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. Our world-class service earned USAA the top spot in a study of the most recommended large companies in America. If you're current or former military or their family, see if you're eligible to get an auto insurance quote.
Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Traditionally, Tuesday is pork chop night. But when I take 4 pork chops and sprinkle on a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch, I get something that's anything but traditional. Ranch pork chops.
Hidden Valley it.
Here are the keys, man. It's all mine? Parenthood isn't gonna change me. I'll still see the guys every weekend and rock out in the basement. Please.
Hey, where are you?
I'm still king of this castle.
Lots of great features. You're gonna love the backseat pocket.
It's not like I'm gonna get a minivan.
Life can surprise you. So can an Allstate agent. Now they can save you $3,000 on a new car with the Allstate car buying service. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Louisville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Weekday mornings, Jim Cantori, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on.
Grab your pickaxe because now there's even more gold to be found in Florida. Introducing the family of Gold Rush scratch-off games from the Florida Lottery. 5 Gold Rush tickets to choose from with a top prize of $3 million. Now there's more gold than ever. Play the $1, $2, $5, $10, and $20 tickets for a chance to win your part of over $700 million in total cash prizes. The Gold Rush family of scratch-off games. Get ready to strike it rich from the Florida Lottery.
Sunny is back.
What? Oh, God.
And looking better than ever.
American Girl, blue eyes, blonde hair.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The all-new season premieres Wednesday, January 14th at 10, only on FXX.
Enjoy a spectacular 2-night Bahamas Paradise Cruise from just $149. Call 800-814-7100 and let the fun begin. That's 800-814-7100.
571-6603. For a free brochure, call 1-800-571-6603.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Duracell, trusted to outlast the storm.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 55, winds light and variable. Friday, sunny skies, high 77. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 58. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Now, we're calling this video here, a river runs through it. A river of fog runs through the Grand Canyon. A really cool time lapse of a total cloud inversion. And basically this happens when we have a temperature inversion. Warm air aloft, usually caused by sinking air from high pressure. It locks down the atmosphere. Cool air pooling at the bottom of the valley at the Grand Canyon. And when the air gets cooled to the point of saturation, if the winds are just right, you can get radiation fog and very dense radiation fog. So this literally looks like a river of fog that is moving through the Grand Canyon. This is very uncommon at the Grand Canyon. They say normally it only happens once every several years, and it's happened twice so far this winter season, one time in mid-December and now in January. And this type of thermal inversion situation, it can be very dangerous for the folks in Salt Lake and Phoenix when they get poor air quality, but it is a rare occurrence here at the Grand Canyon, and we were able to bring it to you, and I just love seeing those pictures. Let's take you down the road a piece here in the Valley of the Sun, where they're getting ready for the Super Bowl, and the rain is now moving in Phoenix. Temperatures down a few degrees because of that. 67 in Phoenix right now, 66 in Glendale, where they will be having the Super Bowl, and the rain starting to move into Scottsdale as well, where the Phoenix Open is underway currently. And we're seeing that rain particularly heavy here south of town in the southwestern portion of the state. So here's the way things are going to be looking as we head into the overnight hours. You can see that rain moving in overnight, becoming a lot more widespread, picking up its pace. So the morning commute, yes, a little messy here in Phoenix. Rain coming down in Flagstaff, snow in the higher elevations here. In fact, we're talking a lot of snow well above Flagstaff level, like Snow Bowl, San Francisco Peaks. We can see 2 to 3 feet of snow. So good news for the ski resort there, west of Flagstaff, Snow Bowl. And then getting into Saturday morning, we are still on the wet side here as the folks are out to do all the activities surrounding the Super Bowl, and we get out there to the Phoenix Open. Still a little bit damp, so we may end up having some rain delays for play out there. But as for the Super Bowl itself, things will be drying out after getting almost an inch of rain here in places like Phoenix, where you see that darker green color, and down into the Tucson area. And look at this snow, just incredible, especially when you get into New Mexico. So Taos, Santa Fe, we could be talking at least a foot of new snow, and probably even more than that in the higher elevations. We could be talking that 2 to 3 foot range once again. But for the Super Bowl itself, for the activities leading up to it, yes, a little wet, but perfect to open up the stadium there out at the University of Phoenix for the Super Bowl, and temperatures in the low 70s with plenty of sunshine. Totally different story here, though, in San Francisco. I'm going to take you out and show you a beautiful picture. This coming from near Ghirardelli Square. Those are the tall ships there. It is a beautiful day with a light wind, temperature at 63 degrees, west wind at the airport around 10 miles per hour. And you can see fog-free, and the winds are just very, very light. It usually takes a little bit of a wind to advect that moisture into the bay and inland. But boy, we need the rain, and we are not seeing it. We've had no rain so far in the month of January, and this is usually our wettest month. We're in the middle of the wet season, in the middle of winter. And it's a bad news when we're seeing so little rain in a month that is usually the wettest of the year, with 40% of the state in an exceptional drought and no rain on the horizon for their forecast. Nick.
Wow. I gotta tell you what, we're going to get some rain southward, though. Let's take a closer look at the next storm we're tracking. This will start in the west and cross the country in the coming days. Still kind of an element of mystery here as we look at to what it will bring in places like the Northeast and when. As you mentioned, Sam, starting back out here in the west, we're getting that increasing chance of rain and the mountain snow. We'll see more of that here into tomorrow, and really piling up here in the higher elevations in New Mexico and Colorado. Then this storm pushes eastward with rain into the plains, still mountain snow back toward the Rockies, but we're going to see more evidence of snowfall here from the Ohio Valley and the Midwest northward up toward the Great Lakes, and then along the East Coast as we head into Monday. Washington, D.C., Philly, New York, Boston, looking for more snowfall. St. Louis, you'll get your snow beginning Saturday night and on into Sunday. We'll talk more about this storm and the one we have right now with a name coming up.
He trains. He's psyched. Ready for the knockout? You don't know ARP. He's staying in shape by keeping his brain healthy and focused with AARP's Staying Sharp. With online mind-sharpening exercises developed by the top minds in brain science. And exercise and stress reduction tips that can impact brain health. So he's ready for the real possibilities ahead. If you don't think top of my game when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Find more surprising possibilities and get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
If a denture were to be put under a microscope, we can see all the bacteria that still exists. Polident's unique MicroClean formula works in just 3 minutes, killing 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria for a cleaner, fresher, brighter denture every day.
How about over there?
What does it mean to have an unlimited mileage warranty on a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz? What does it mean to drive as far as you want for up to 3 years and be covered? It means your odometer is there to record the memories. During the Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event now through March 2nd, you'll get complimentary prepaid maintenance and receive your first 2 months payments on us, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Ring, ring. Progresso. I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding.
Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress.
Uh-huh.
You don't love the dress?
I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
The best part about going to Walt Disney World just might be staying at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. From royal encounters to royal rooms. And pirates to paradise. The magic never has to stop. And now you can save up to 30% off a select Walt Disney World Resort Hotel room. Book your stay now and discover how close the magic can be.
Behind the fridge, quietly rotting into black goo, is the banana you thought he wolfed down last week. Pine Sol. Cleaning what stinks since 1929.
At the end of the day, my hands are beat up.
Especially during the winter times, hands are splitting, cracking, making it very difficult to do my job.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
Best stuff we've ever used.
It just works.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
What?
Jesse, don't go! Jesse, no!
I'm sorry, Daisy, but I'm a loner, and a loner's gotta be alone.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Your Super Bowl party is on NBC. Starting with the Today Show. Then at noon, our team breaks down the big game. Katy Perry prepares for the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show. And the best team brings you Super Bowl 49. Then, don't miss a special Blacklist and Tonight Show after the game. Only on NBC.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 55, winds light and variable. Friday, sunny skies, high 77, winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 58, winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live as we track a newly named winter storm named Carrie. I'm Samantha Moore alongside Ned Walker, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about tonight, Ned.
We sure do. Clean up from the Winter Storm Juno, the impending snow from Winter Storm Carrie, and a whole other troublemaker hot on their heels. We start now with Carrie and storm specialist Kim Cunningham in the lab watching this storm really begin to develop now, Kim.
That's right, Nick, and it's actually going to develop even more over the next 24 hours. So we named it. It's now Winter Storm Carrie. I'm going to show you the criteria or how we name our winter storms. Of course, we have a panel. We have a group of experts that get together and discuss this every day, whether or not we're going to name a winter storm, and they do it several times a day. They have the discussion. But they named it Winter Storm Carrie because of the number of warnings that we have, the population. These are the different things that we look at, the warnings, number of advisories, warnings plus advisories issued by the National Weather Service. And then we look at the population. If it meets that criteria, it can be named, or by area. So this one actually met the warnings criteria, and that 3.8 million people are now under winter storm warnings issued by the National Weather Service. The criteria was only for 2 million or more. So we met that criteria. It is now named Winter Storm Carrie, and this is where we have the winter storm warnings for northeastern Massachusetts, Boston, north of you, and all the way into all of Maine, actually under a winter storm warning, and eastern parts of Vermont. So it looks like by tomorrow we'll be dealing with this here off the coast. We'll have more on that, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Kim. And you know, when we say this is a 1-2 punch for portions of New England, this is what we mean. You dealt with hours and hours of grueling blizzard conditions, hurricane-force winds, bitter temperatures, and snow that accumulated to 3 feet, blowing and drifting to 3 times that height in some spots. And that was just Winter Storm Juno. Sam's tracking the storm right on its heels, named Carrie.
And I think that's why it's such a big deal, Nick, because this storm follows on the heels of Juno. If this were just on its own, it wouldn't be as much of a big deal, because we already have 2 feet of snow here across coastal Maine, and all of the heavy snow we saw in the Boston area with that record 3 feet north of the Boston area. And we're even talking a foot here across much of upstate New York. So there's a lot of snow already on the ground, and you get those winds blowing that snow sideways. It's really going to be problematic. You can see we're moistening up here in eastern Pennsylvania, stretching across the Adirondacks of New York, and that is going to continue into the overnight hours. It's just starting to edge in through Allentown right now. The snow across I-80. Be careful if you're traveling in that direction, because there will be some snow blowing around. New York City, no snow as of yet. But I think more than anything, what's going to be problematic here is going to be the incredible winds that we're going to see. So this takes you in. Notice the time. Friday evening, 8 o'clock. Those winds on Montauk are going to be around 40 to 50 miles per hour overnight into the early morning hours of Saturday. New York City will see those winds easily 25 to 30 miles per hour. Boston, 25 to 30 mile per hour winds on Saturday night. And then down East Maine will have those winds also. They will be staying very blustery through at least Saturday night. And that's going to be blowing that snow around. So here's the timing on it. As we head through this evening, all that snow moving to the east. Not as much here now for New York City and Long Island as we had last time. And then moving across Vermont and New Hampshire. And then the brunt of the snowfall here across eastern Maine, once we get that low pressure system that we're calling Carrie continuing to deepen, and we see that moisture working its way inland. So that's why we see some 12 to 18 inches of snow here in Bangor. We'll end up seeing 5 to 8 inches here across parts of Vermont and New Hampshire. New York will not be seeing as much this time around. Looks like we should be seeing around 1 to 3 inches of snow across much of northeastern PA and in across much of southern New York, including Long Island. So not as much snow this time around, but a whole lot of wind, Nick.
And folks across New England continue to dig out of the snow they had there today. Sanford, Maine, pounded by Winter Storm Juno to the tune of over 31 inches of snow. NBC's Dylan Dreyer has more now from that southern Maine town.
Well, we started off the day on Nantucket, and now we are up here in Sanford, Maine. It's about a half hour southwest of Portland, and we still have about 30 inches of snow on the ground after some melting earlier today. But already tonight, we are looking at the next round of snow to move in. It'll start off light, and then we're looking at it to pick up in intensity. But this time around, it looks like the bullseye will be across down East Maine, up near Bangor. That's where we could end up with about 12 to 18 inches of snow. In this area, it looks like we'll be closer to about 6 to 12. Even Boston could see 6 to 9 inches of snow, the last thing they need down there. So we are going to keep an eye on this system as we go through the night. And then it's all about those really cold temperatures by Saturday morning. We're looking at this area to be feeling wind chills about 15 to 30 below. So as people continue to dig out, the cold temperatures are certainly not helping things, and especially with more snow on the way, it's going to make things even worse. Back to you.
Well, meanwhile, we have another storm to track for you, and the computer models aren't quite in agreement about what it will do and what it will bring in the coming days. Fortunately, we have a team of experts in-house to analyze every option. So let's go to one of those experts right now. Kim is in the lab. Kim?
All right, thanks, Nick. And yes, we are looking at new information from the GFS model, the American model, that's saying, what, we're going to see some snow with this across the Ohio Valley for the Mid-Atlantic states and maybe some for the Northeast as well. So we're going to show you the comparison of that model and the European model here in just a second. But I want to show you where it is, where the disturbance is right now that's going to be causing all the headaches over the next couple of days. It's up here in the northeastern Pacific, just the west of, looks like British Columbia right now, this area right in here. That is actually going to move down the ridge, and it's going to deepen as it does. So this is what happens by Sunday. By Sunday, that starts to move south. That disturbance is somewhere in this area here. We start to see moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, at this point, the rain-snow line is right here, that blue line. So north of it, we are in the cold air. So guess what? It's going to be a snow event. And we haven't talked too much about the Ohio Valley, but if the computer models are correct on this, this could be one of the most impressive snows we have seen in a while for you guys. So the GFS model takes it here right off to the coast, right here, probably the Virginia, North Carolina border, around the Norfolk area. The rain-snow line to the north. So all of this is snowfall, including here in New York City. This is Monday morning, 8 a.m. Now we're going to overlay the European model. So the new GFS is pretty much right on top of what the European model was saying. There is a slight difference, though, on how far west the moisture gets. They're a little different with that as we go beyond 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's where we're still really not sure about this. So we're going to follow this disturbance, as I mentioned. We're going to track this around the ridge. It's going to come south. We're going to get some energy from this disturbance down here in the southwest. That's going to play a role in this too. And we're going to see this thing deepen off the coast, and that's where we're going to see that coastal low, or the Clipper low, deepen and actually bring more snow to parts of the northeast. Before it does that, though, the southwestern system is going to bring much needed snowfall to New Mexico and Colorado. We're very sure about this. Very certain about this going to happen. So we could see maybe a foot of snow in some cases. Then as it gets farther out in time into Saturday, models aren't in total agreement with this, but thinking the rain-snow line is going to be right here. Interstate 80 could be a rain-snow mix. And then Sunday for the Ohio Valley, the European and the GFS both indicating some snow through here. So Cincinnati, Indianapolis, all the way to Pittsburgh, expect snow on Sunday. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. This is something you got to keep an eye on over the next couple of days for sure. Even Chicago will see some snow. And then a rain-snow mix right along this. We're not expecting a sleet, freezing rain event with this. Rain for the southeast. Then it gets off the coast, and then we start to see the winds coming in from this direction around the low, which is going to bring the moisture into New York. Now, the difference in between the GFS and the European is the GFS is not printing as much snow for New York as the European is. So that's why we're not sure yet, folks. We just want to make sure that you're aware there's some discrepancies in the model data as you get beyond the weekend. So we'll keep you up to date and make sure you tune back in over the next couple of days. Back to you.
Okay, thanks so much, Kim. Well, as Kim mentioned, a lot of people are going to be watching the Super Bowl from indoors with rain and snow outside.
That's some good news, and you have your pick for the game.
I do. I'm a member of the 12th man. Yes, I'll be rooting for the Hawks.
All right, well, good. I'll be rooting for the puppy, the Budweiser puppy in the commercial.
At least it'll be dry.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 55, winds light and variable. Friday, sunny skies, high 77, winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 58, winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all, that you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
I'm Jerry Bell II.
And Jerry Bell III.
I'm like a big bear. He's my little cub. This little guy is non-stop. He's always want to hang out with his friend. Got to be prepared to sit at the edge of your seat and be ready to get up. There's no deep couch sitting. It's definitely not good for my back. This is the part I really don't like right here. What's that?
Package.
It's a Swiffer wet jet. It almost feels like it's moving itself. It's kind of fun. That comes from my floor? This is Deep Couch City.
Deep Couch City.
Hi, this is Jennifer. I will be out of the office until Monday and won't be checking voicemail during this time. I'll reply just as soon as I get back to work.
Sail with Princess Cruises, the #1 cruise line in Alaska. Save up to $500 during our 50th anniversary sale. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises. Come back new.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom, no problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
Why are you all here? To learn, right? So you can get a good job, so you're not working for peanuts. Well, what if I told you that peanuts can work for you? While you guys are busy napping, peanuts are delivering 7 grams of protein and 6 essential nutrients right to your mouth. You ever seen a peanut take a day off? No. Peanuts don't even get casual khaki Fridays because peanuts take their job seriously. So unless you want a life of skimming Wi-Fi off the neighbors, you'll harness the hard-working power of the peanut.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu with the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. It breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Did you know that between October and May, the flu can put up to 200,000 Americans in the hospital? Long winters force many people to stay indoors, stuck in close corners around those families and friends who might be sick.
It seems like everyone I know has had the flu so far. Well, in our latest Brainstorm edition, we break down why the virus is so harmful and what it does to the human body. Sam Champion has the wow behind the weather.
Influenza is a highly contagious, acute viral infection that can strike more than 60 million Americans every year. That's about the same as all the people in our 2 most populated states, California and Texas combined. This sickness is triggered when the flu virus enters the body. Now, the virus is actually a non-living particle until it enters a human cell. And once it has a host, it activates and starts replicating its genetic content about 50 times per second. That's faster than a sewing machine can stitch. As a result, in its very brief 5.5-hour lifespan, a single infected cell can produce more than 1 million new viruses, which can set out to infect new cells. Roughly half a day after the virus enters the body, the immune system responds with its core defense. About a half a teaspoon of specialized white blood cells that produce immune modulatory proteins. These proteins attack and destroy the infected cells to minimize the infection. It's actually this process of destruction which leads to inflammation, severe body aches, nausea, and fever. And that isn't surprising considering the fact that to get rid of the virus, our immune defense system may have to wipe out as many as 200 million infected cells. That's 50% of all the cells living in the upper respiratory tract. But the good news is, within 24 hours, the body's natural cell production starts to catch up. And it can replace all lost cells as quickly as 2 days.
And now, you've been brainstormed. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
Well, if it does seem like just about everyone you know who has had some sort of cold or flu, you can see why here as we take a look at the latest projections on the cold and flu tracker. You can see the dark maroon color. That means that it's widespread. And the orange color, Minnesota, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia, that's where we've seen localized cases of flu. Many of them have been right here at the Weather Channel in Georgia, that's for sure. But one of the things we look at in terms of how readily the flu spreads is the dew point, the dryness of the air, because in dry air, like when you see dew points in the teens here in the northern plains, that air is incredibly dry. Well, the flu virus, it lives longer in drier air, and our immune system is down this time of year, Nick, because when we have less sunlight, our immune system is a bit compromised as well. So do remember to wash your hands frequently and cover your mouth when you sneeze, because that cloud can linger for many, many minutes after you're gone.
Well, here in the days to come, Sam, a lot of folks are going to be indoors for sure, trying to escape from all this snow that's going to be falling here around the Northeast from Winter Storm Carrie. And then we've got another storm back out here in the west that's going to be producing an abundant rainfall here from Arizona into New Mexico, portions of Texas, and snow up in the higher elevations, and lots of it. Saturday's weather will bring that rain here into the plains once again. Still the lingering snow from Carrie, 12 to 18 inches in some portions of Maine. We'll be watching, finally, by the time we get into Sunday, things clearing out here around Arizona just in time for the Super Bowl. All this storm moves eastward, and snow from the Ohio Valley, the Mississippi River Valley, northward up toward the Great Lakes, and that snow will continue to push eastward as we head on into the first of next week. Could be a snowy time, and we may very well have another named storm on our hand if this really gets going and enough people are affected. Washington, D.C., Philly, New York, Boston, all could see more snowfall, and we're going to see more rain and mountain snow back toward the northwest. Tuesday, that snow pushes on into the northern plains. We'll see rain down toward the Texas coastline. Then more moisture coming into the deep south with some wintry weather in the North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky area, with more wintry weather all the way up into the northeast, lingering on into Maine once again by the time we get into Thursday. We'll talk more about these two storms and what else they could bring just ahead.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Weekday mornings, Jim Cantori, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, starting at 7.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here, and that's just Sam.
Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 55, winds light and variable. Friday, sunny skies, high 77, winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 58, winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I'm outside. Where are you? I'm right here. I'm in the Buick. I don't see a Buick. Oh, got it.
The expectation-shattering Buick Encore.
Wow.
Now experience Buick's newest crossover and pay no interest for 5 years. Plus, get $1,500 purchase cash on the 2014 Buick Encore.
If you have Medicare Part D, Walgreens gets that you might be at the corner of looking for a good deal. And sheesh, I wish I'd look some more. That's why Walgreens makes it easy to switch your prescriptions and save money. Just stop by and leave all the legwork to us. Switch your prescriptions to Walgreens, where you could save even more on Medicare Part D with copays as low as $0. At the corner of happy and healthy.
Your eyes really are unique.
In fact, they depend on a unique set of nutrients. That's why there's Ocuvite, to help protect your eye health.
As you age, your eyes can lose vital nutrients. Ocuvite helps replenish key eye nutrients. Ocuvite is a vitamin made just for your eyes from the eye care experts at Bausch & Lomb. Ocuvite has a unique formula.
My name is Jason, and I work for Comcast. We know the best way to improve is by listening to our customers. That's why we guarantee 2-hour appointment windows, night and day, 7 days a week. With our 97% on-time rate, you'll never have to wait around. And if we're ever late, you'll get a $20 credit. I think we're getting better all the time.
Only Xfinity guarantees 2-hour appointment windows. And with our 97% on-time rate, you can count on us to be there. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
There is something in the people, something in the sand, there's something in the air, something in the water, something in the night. It's called All Right, and it's something you can only find here. Jamaica, home of All Right.
571-6603. For a free brochure, call 1-800-571-6603.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
All right, check out this incredible footage out of Niagara Falls. Will Gadd, a prominent ice climber in Canada, climbing up the ice just feet away from the majestic Horseshoe Falls. The climb was estimated to reach approximately 180 feet high. Boy, the falls are just glorious this time of year. It's cold. It's really, really cold there. But I tell you, there's going to be a lot of other things frozen in New York State here. There already are, besides Niagara Falls. Let's talk more about the wintry weather that we're getting into the Northeast right now and another winter storm to come. Sam and Kim.
You know, I think probably about 75 years of experience at least with the three of us. Wouldn't you say?
Wow. At least.
I mean, 25 each, pretty much.
And 75 is just me. No, I have to, I'm copying Jim Cantori.
I know. That was really cute, though. But yeah, there's a lot of years of experience here. And Kim is at the helm.
Yes, I am.
And so 1-2 punch. And so this is the second of the punches that we're talking about.
Yeah, insult to injury for sure. So we're watching a clipper, and typically clippers don't produce a lot of snow unless they get invigorated off the coast. And that's what's going to happen with this this one. But we want to make sure you know that it's now named Winter Storm Carrie, and there's a reason for it because it met our criteria. Population under warnings. There's 3.8 million people under a warning. Our criteria is only for 2 million. So we have met the criteria.
Okay.
So it is now Winter Storm Carrie. Yes,
3.8 million.
Forewarned, right? And these are the advisories in effect right now.
Okay, so now we have the winter weather advisories here across much of Pennsylvania, western New York, and then we get the winter storm warnings when we get into Maine.
Yeah, this whole area here, winter storm warnings.
Okay.
Now, we're looking at some new information, new model information that may suggest this corridor right in here may not be getting as much as we were thinking.
Okay.
So north of Boston, between Boston and Portland, maybe 2 to 4. Okay, not 3 to 5 or a little bit more than that. So, Sam, the disturbance that's going to help really get this low developing and deepening is moving through parts of Pennsylvania right now. It's right in here. So this is it. So we're going to watch this. We're going to track this off the coast, and we're going to show you where it's at by Saturday. Saturday, it's way out here, so it moves through very quickly, but we're going to be left with a lot of cold air, and we're going to be left with some wind. So it's going to be very windy with this behind it. So very blustery, dangerous wind chills. You can see that.
So for these folks who have already seen these cold temperatures, it's going to feel even colder.
It is. It's going to be ridiculous. So right now we've got light snow, again, just a clipper moving through, light snow coming in, maybe a little bit of sleet once in a while mixed in there. New York, maybe a few flakes, but it's pretty dry. And that's why you typically don't see a lot of snow with clippers. It's not until it can get the interaction with the ocean that we see some of the heavier snow amounts. So this is our RPM model. We're going to put this into motion. We're going to time it out for you. Friday, it starts diving in. And you can see by Friday afternoon, we see it offshore. At this point, Sam, we're starting to bring the winds around this direction. So now we're drawing that moisture or pushing it back into New England area. But notice the RPM's not really showing a lot of snow with this.
It's not that impressive yet.
So it's interesting. Again, I think the jury's out still on this. You know exactly how much. I know our forecasters are actually going to downplay this a little bit from Boston into Portland, this area here. I'm not saying we're not going to get snow. We may not get as much as we initially thought in that area, and then it moves out and we're done, and we're just left with some heavier snows in Maine. Maine probably will be the winner with this one, seeing all this. There's our snow totals right now. Again, we're going Boston a little bit less than we were, but especially this part of Maine seeing possibly up to a foot, maybe even 18 inches of snow.
On top of all the snow they already have, and then the wind-driven snow.
Yeah, so it's going to be miserable traveling in this area for sure. And you know, we can't rule out some of the higher elevations, the Green and White Mountains picking up maybe 5 to 8 in some isolated spots. Then we say goodbye to Carrie.
And more part.
Yes, is this going to be, I think it's Linus. If this gets named eventually, it's going to be Linus. But right now, it's up here in the Pacific Northwest. It's this disturbance that we're going to track down the ridge. And we're going to follow this thing. And that's sometimes why it's hard, Sam, to really get a good handle on this with the models, because there's not much data out here in the Pacific
over the ocean
to put into the model. But it's getting better. And actually, two models, the GFS and the European, are pretty similar with this. So we're going to track this out. We're going to watch the spin, the vorticity. We call it vorticity, the spin in the atmosphere. And we're going to track it. And this is about where it's going to be. This is Sunday. So Sunday, expect in this area here to start to get some snowfall. And my pen just doesn't want to write well. So we track it east. It moves east. Notice it doesn't hook yet. Okay, it moves offshore, and then we're going to see the snow track. So this is the rain snow line. There's the surface low. North of the rain snow line, it's all snow.
Ooh.
So we are cold, and we're going to see snow again for the northeastern cities. The European, by the way, very similar. Look at this. A little different, that we may see a little bit more snow with the European into New York.
We're going to have to watch it carefully, Kim.
Yes,
once
we will.
again.
All right, back tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 55, winds light and variable. Friday, sunny skies, high 77, winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 58, winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Winter Storm Carrie bringing snowfall now into the Northeast and a lot more up into northern New England as we head into the next couple of days. Let's show you where the snow's falling right now. A lot of this not hitting the ground because the air is so dry, but we are going to see an increasing amount here into Pennsylvania and into New York. We had a little sleet around Washington, D.C. Now some snow. Flurries around the Philadelphia area. Don't expect to see accumulation there. Light accumulations there around New York, but better accumulations as you move farther toward the north. And as this Clipper system really winds up and the low deepens, we're going to see some very gusty winds with this. Watch along the coastal regions. These gusty winds could be developing as we head into your Saturday. Once again, blowing snow around, causing some of the snow that's already fallen from Juneau to blow around as well. So there really could be some travel problems. We'll be watching the snow continuing here to develop around the Northeast and into New England as we head on into your Friday and Saturday. A lot of areas going to see up to 12 inches and more.
They're some of the most dramatic and destructive forces of nature. Masses of animals and insects that can be dangerous, even deadly.
We're talking about herds of hundreds of thousands, up to 1 million. It's absolutely staggering. It's probably one of the greatest spectacles you're ever going to see in the world.
Whether descending from the sky or trampling across the savannah, they are breathtaking events that very few photographers have been lucky enough to capture.
These swarms can contain literally billions of individuals, and it's like a smoke from a distance, a sort of living smoke moving across the landscape.
Now, through forensic animation and scientific analysis, we will dissect and venture inside the swarm and among the stampede. On Raging Nature. Nature often has a way of making humans feel insignificant. This is especially true when it comes to swarms and stampedes. They can be vicious and violent, or simply struggling to survive. Regardless, you don't want to be caught in their path. Capturing these awesome spectacles is as thrilling as being caught in the middle of an angry storm.
Swarms of these organisms, swarms of these insects is not only one of the most remarkable things we see, but it can also be one of the most intimidating things we see. With insects moving in all directions, it can confuse our visual system. And in some sense, that's actually maybe why they've evolved, to confuse predators' visual systems. And to us, this feels disconcerting.
From 2003 to 2005, after periods of intense rain, the countries of northern and western Africa were caught off guard. The perfect mix of wet weather and plentiful crops brought forth what many called the perfect swarm. What cameramen caught on tape was as spectacular as it was devastating.
If a locust swarm comes on you, probably first you will hear some distant noise, because when locusts fly, they produce a particular sound like rattling leaves. It's their wings that are flying. So this very unusual particular sound is kind of ominous, because usually what you will see, the locust will shade the sun. You cannot see the sun anymore, so it will become dark. And finally the locust will come on you, and they will bump on you, your face and your body. They may crawl on you.
These locust swarms can extend over 100 square miles. Within each square mile, there can be over 100 million insects. To be in the center of that, with all these billions of insects flying around as far as you can see, the sound of the wings, them hitting you all the time as they're flying around, would just be breathtaking.
The desert locust is an ancient swarm that has been affecting the earth for thousands, if not millions of years. Called the 8th plague in the Bible in ancient times, the desert locust is